Hello, hi, my name is Heaven George and I'm from Redlands, California. And so basically, people are, gang stalking me or whatever. And so, uh, I always tell people about this story. I already have a bunch of stories out. Today's update is just going to be, again, feelings, my emotions, situation, blah, blah, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, at the rate I'm going, since I'm only putting out like 30-minute videos, or the way that I do it, because I divide my thing by 30-minute intervals, the way that I'm doing it, it's gonna be very long by the time that I have all the videos I want out. At this point, I never really memorize. I don't really know how much is in my head or what I'm putting out. But at the rate that I'm going, it seems like I'm gonna put a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff's going to end up going public. As a result, there's going to be a lot of, it's going to be very long because I could do it really, really quickly, but as a result, I'm not double checking my work or anything like that, and so this isn't really professional. To whether I will do professional stuff in the near future, I always say something about this. Probably I will, but not anytime soon if I do anything professional. Right now, this is not professional, this is just like vent out of whatever I'm going through. So anyways, because I have no therapy, this is why I do the YouTube. If I had therapy, I probably would never do YouTube, is basically kind of the reasoning of why I'm doing this. If I had a therapist, I would not do YouTube and I would not do Facebook because, yes, those are my diary. And it's basically my diary entry and I'm just giving it out to the world. That's basically what I'm doing right now. To the reason the situation is the way that it is, it's just, there's like literally no support. Like I said, the police are involved. They're the reason, if anything, the reason why this situation's happening, though I can't 100% prove it. They've made 100% mistakes. That's in the policing process, which is why I think that they're involved. Like, the stories you hear on YouTube and stuff like that, they don't have real evidence that they think the police is doing it. So they don't have a storyline of how the police even fit in the situation. They just say, like, if you read a lot of the books, the internet, the gang stalking or slander, blah, 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 especially gang stalking, they say the reason the police is involved is because, how do I explain? What was the reason why the police was involved? They say the reason the police is involved is, like, they just say it only makes sense to have this many people harass them. It has to be the police. Now, not everybody says that the police is involved. Like, different people say different things or whatever. Like, usually they say it's some employee or someone that they got angry. Somebody that they had an argument or disagreement with. And then as a result, their slander campaign started because that people they never really know who the root person is. Or if they do know, they never get it legally dealt with or anything like that. They just have a guess of who they think is involved or whatever. I don't know. With my situation or whatever, I don't know. I don't even know what it's all about. I'm just like free flow again. Let's go with the police. And them being involved or not involved or like I said, for different people it's different whether they think the police or military or criminal justice professionals like judge, lawyer. So it's people of particular professions. People, if you see an example like Bonnie Leak, her YouTube channel, when you go on youtube.com, you know how to type it in. I shouldn't have to tell you how to go onto YouTube. You should know because you're on YouTube. If you're watching this video, I guess you know how to. All you have to do is put the word youtube.com and that'll take you there. But okay, so when you, on the little search engine, the little box at the top somewhere up in the upper areas, when you type in, there's a little gadget. It says the word filters. It's not really big. It's kind of small. You see the word filters, and it's only on this particular website. It's not on your computer. It's on and then on the filters. Okay, so actually, usually for me, when I put the word, it just takes me there. So you don't even have to do it with my name. If you put Heaven George on my YouTube to try to get me there, you will not find me for some reason because other videos come up with my name or first and last name. But the way you do it is you click on filters and then you click channels. So when you click on channels, by using those words, it will find you like literally the channel title with those words in it, so you can quickly get to it. You can subscribe to their channel, so you can if you like a person and you want to keep seeing them, you subscribe channel, or you put watch later so that you can look through their other videos. I never really knew how YouTube worked and that you could click on the link in order to get to the person's video. Like, I never knew that. I just thought you just you put the search word of your idea and then you just keep watching videos and whatever YouTube gives you. Because I didn't know when I was young adult or teen years, I didn't understand how to use it. Because I use YouTube so often, now I know very, 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 very easy basics. I still don't know how to do a lot of professional stuff on YouTube, but I know how to use it maybe on a normal person level. It's really easy to use, but I'm just saying. There's definitely some really high-end hard stuff. If you want to make videos, there's like the video techniquing and... Actually, I'm not a professional videographer, so maybe that's just, I don't know. Just trying to find the name. So anyways, maybe I'm confusing you, but with hers, you don't even need to do that. All you have to do is put Bonnie Leak, and her first name is Bonnie, but her last name is not that. She just added that as like her way to get it. I don't know, that's just her name that she used for YouTube. So hers is BONNIELEEC. So there was two N's that I just said right next to each other, and then there was two E's that I said. So anyways, yeah, that was her. That's the spelling. And then if you see her, she says that a fireman is the reason why she's being gang stalked. She says that, but she doesn't really give she said there's literally no reason. Hers, according, I haven't seen all her videos. She has a lot of videos, but they're really, really short. They're like 30-second or 1 minute. And I've seen a lot of YouTubers do that, like Lena Kochman, Boston, whatever her name is. There's some different YouTubers do different ways. Most of them, they do about 10-minute increments and then they stop and then they make new videos. Most people are not lifetime YouTubers. Most people in general, or anyone that makes YouTube videos, they're not on it for life. Any of these gang stalking videos, things that I've noticed, or slander, whatever, they do it temporarily. So like in a year, they would post like 10 or 50 videos, and then that's it. And the videos are usually really short. They're usually like 10 minutes long for each video at most. So my video situation, I don't think I'm gonna make videos only on gang stalking or whatever. Like, I feel like a lot of my videos are gonna be about my life and what I go through and challenges. Almost like having a friend, but I don't have a friend, so this YouTube is just notifying. Not that anyone would really be interested, but just because I'm getting used to it. So it's gonna be, like I said, the channel is going to change. Like right now, it's just particularly about my feelings, how unfair my life is, and why these people are wrong. And actually, I've written more stuff on Facebook than I've actually spoken. And my writing in the Facebook, it's more detailed than what I'm putting out right now. I guess it's because I haven't memorized. I memorize the stuff that I write and that I don't really think about it. I just when I'm in a mood, when I feel like it, I just write the Facebook thing. Just like my diary, I just write when I feel like it. So there's no planning involved. Though I do search the internet or read books like anyone, though I don't do it that often anymore. Before, I was really into reading internet articles about, trauma and stuff, about life and abuse and all that other stuff. Now, I'm not really doing it that much because on top of it being kind of getting boring with the situation, it's not really helpful. And I was never searching stuff because I thought it was going to help me. Like if you're going through a traumatic experience, like with this gang stalking, bullying and stuff, is a traumatic experience, but the community nobody will explain it to you as if it's traumatic. They will say, when you talk to anybody, even if they believe you, they will be like, no big deal. They treat it they minimize it, basically like, okay, it's hard, but there's worse things in life. no, I don't believe that though, because not really. There's not that many worse things in life. Yes, there are worse things in life, but not really. Not really, because life is right. It's good. Life is normal. Life is healthy. You have good experiences, and this is very sad. And most people will never go through it, and you can't get support. Like I said, your family, like, okay, if you, now most people are not, most people are married. I'm sure when this is happening to, well, no, actually, I read on the internet, they said, I'm not sure if it's true or not, it said a lot of the people that become victims to these slander gangstalking campaigns are usually divorced or single. And the reasoning behind the reason, I don't know if that's a true fact or a false fact, but they say that these slander situations, they pick people in vulnerable situations. Most of the people that are picked are middle-aged. I'm a little bit younger than most people that are selected for these slander campaigns. There's no reason for the age when they pick you. There's no reason. I mean, of course, they're not going to pick someone that's like 80 years old in a nursing home. Like I said, there's limits to cruelty and limits to craziness. If they're mad at you, they're going to be mad while they're in the normal human ages and stuff like that. Do I think that they're going to gang stalk a child? No, I don't think they're going to gang stalk a little, 5-year-old or what. Now, if the family is being gang stalked, for example, if the parent or the adult is being gang stalked, could the children be gang stalked as well? I heard, and I don't know if this is true, like, she doesn't not make any more videos. There's even videos, but you can see this online as well if you Google it hard enough. It's kind of hard to get information on this topic anyways. It's the way that you Google. The way I Google is not the correct way. You're supposed to, there's a professional way to do search engine, and there's not. Like, there's the way they tell you at school. If you do university or high school, they tell you the right way to do research on the internet. I don't follow those methods. I literally, whatever question is in my head, I just type it down. That's not the right way because you waste a lot of time. Because, how to say it, the internet, if you want to use it correctly, first of all, you're supposed to read a book. You're not supposed to have, like, internet everything, because the internet doesn't have the answer to everything. It does, almost, kind of-ish, but it's more harder. Sometimes getting a book is easier to deal with than doing an internet research part. It depends. Sometimes there's a lot of books on a particular topic, so then going to a bookstore to get information or a library is better because there's a lot of information already ready. And if you don't have internet, if you cannot afford it, if you don't have one in your house, whatever, but then, there's library at the school or just the general library. You can always use those internet. But, you can also do the library. There's also some information there's no in the library. Like with my situation, there's nothing. Well, there's not much. There's really nothing in the library about particular issues that I had. So I have to use the internet because there's nothing else. There are books on the topic, but they're, like I said, sold in a specialized bookstore. You have to pay money out of your own pocket, and you have to specially order it because most libraries do not hold topics on the issues that I'm talking about. Like I said, law books are not in the library. They're not at school. Also, not just anything on slander, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, the effects, because most books in the library on the topic of psychology is mainly about disease, like mental disease, and even that, they don't really have that much stuff. They have a generalized topic on mental illness. Other in relationship problems, the thing is, the library, they put stuff that people are going to actually buy or look or read or is useful, entertaining, blah, blah. The things that I'm looking up are not solution-oriented, and I'm sure a lot of the YouTubers are more about solutions or telling stories about their life or whatever, which I don't do. I just I do tell stories about my life or just random topics, blah, 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 and stuff like that. I don't really have a real organized framework and whatever, so. I was talking about the books, hard to find. I'm not interneting the correct way or whatever, because you're supposed to stay focused on topic, not on questions. So the reality of life is not every last question in your head is going to be answered. So that's the thing I do, is I try to get all my little questions answered, which is not really realistic because you have to understand life. You're not going to get 100% answers that you want unless you're a very generalized person, unless you're a normal person and you just care about understanding a topic, rather than understanding details. I guess that's the other thing about my situation. I want to know everything, but I don't. And obviously, I'm not God, and I understand I never will know everything about my situation, my life. I'm not saying about other people's life or the world. Like, I understand that's just crazy. You'll never get the answers to the world and other people. But it's like I want to know what's happening to me, and I don't get the specific answers that I want. And so I think that's the reason why I'm so dissatisfied with my searches, whatever, online, is that like I'm expecting, like, you know, like whatever you ask, you're gonna get the answer. And that's not realistic. When you're trying to learn about a particular issue or topic, you have to focus on just learning the important parts. Like, even a doctor, they don't know everything about the medical disease or whatever. They only know the important part. And so that's the part that I have issues with, and I'm not really explaining to you how that goes, but I guess I'm giving you a reasoning for my bad searches and why I don't get the answers that I want. But the more questions I ask, the more I realize, the less I know. It's weird because it's like the more information I try to obtain, the more I know less. Like, I think in my head, whoa, I knew less than I even knew before. Like, I'm like, there's just so many things that are still unanswered. But, you know, you do learn in the process, I guess, a little bit, but, or a lot, whatever you want. So, I mean, that's the thing, you're never going to get all the answers. So it's just like a one hands up or whatever. You can learn a lot, but you're not going to get all the answers. Because with these slander, mobbing, harassment, all you can do is get kind of approximations of like what if, or reasons why people might be doing something, maybe. Just ideas of reference, but there's no, because you're never going to get 100% accurate proof of anything with these situations. And if you do get really hard information, that's great. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess it depends on your approach. See, the thing with my situation, I waited too long. First of all, ideally, okay. First of all, ideally with this situation, if I was handling it, you know, the right way, or yeah. So first of all, that was kind of gross. I don't really care. I do stuff like that all the time. I already told them I'll probably have videos on that later. But ideally, I mean, obviously, being calm is always a good thing. It's always good to be relaxed. It's always good to be happy. It's always good to be, you know, in a good mood and healthy, and, you know, it's always good to be like that. But also, in order to catch these type of criminals or learn or whatever, you have to catch them in the beginning, because the criminal activity is done in the beginning. The ending is the continuation of moral deterioration, which is they're not really committing criminal acts anymore. There's a point, the first few years is probably where the illegal activity is occurring. The moments in which you move places, or the moments in which you start. So two options of how the criminal activity, the time frame of when it occurs, and the criminal acts that they do is less than the moral issues. The moral, what?
It's me.
I'm not allowed to talk, period?
Okay, you can talk to me then.
Okay, so the criminal acts are, you know, less than the moral issues, and no, in the moral issues is the bigger part, but what's happening, it is a criminal process. Like I said, slander is a crime, libel is a crime, but it occurs, once it's all gossip, that's not really criminal anymore. You know, it's the beginning when they're lying to people everywhere they go. That was the criminal act, to lie to many people. Now that everybody's just lying everywhere you go, now that's a moral issue. So at the beginning, and that's where the criminal act, and that's why, again, these people don't see, the world doesn't see it as a criminal act, even though they know it's possibly a criminal act. That's why the people that are doing the slander, they refuse to identify themselves. Also, if you look a lot of YouTube and you look a lot of Google on people that are telling my life story situation, not my life story, but their life story. And the only people that are talking about this online on the internet, Googling books, whatever, there's no books on this. There are books, but you have to specially order them because they don't become famous. Anybody who, it's not, like, the government doesn't acknowledge that it exists, and if you talk about these issues, they declare you mentally ill. The police will not take a report because they'll say it's a social issue, though there are criminal acts. Though you can make a report for police. You can make a slander report. You can go to the police station and be like, there's high probability, because you can't 100% say that this is happening and that nobody really knows. But like, I know, but I don't know, because I can't really say for sure that it was really even, it's high probability, very, 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 very high probability. You do have a right to go to police because it's a criminal act and they can actually go to prison for it. That's why you have a right to make a police report and go to the police station and be like, wherever the situation occurred. So even if you moved different country, different state, you can contact your other country or your other state, the specific city department where the situation occurred, and you can make a report there. Now, if the situation stopped, you move to like Canada, you move another state, you move another country, and the situation stopped, you're not supposed to make a report to a different department. You can, but they're just going to tell you to go back to the original, because when you to the police, you report only to the specific location of where it happened. Generally, that's what you're supposed to do, though. I don't know if they'll take it or not. I'm not really sure, but I know that you're always supposed to go to the direct location. Also, the police are not very well informed with these type of situations, and that these cases almost never go to court.
Shut up!
So anyway, she doesn't like my stories. It's very clear at this point because she participates in the sign language. Anyways, she participates in the sign language stuff, and she doesn't empathize with the situation she never did from the beginning. I have no clue why. Lack of trust issues, relationship issues, probably in the past. I don't know. Anyways, so what other issues do we have here? If you report the situation to the police, how to explain it? Even if you report these situations to the jobs or the police, wherever the harassment is occurring, if you report it to the school or the store, wherever the harassment is occurring, people may not give you the right answer, or most people don't know that's happening, or if they do know, which in my case, I think a lot of people do know what's happening. They don't know most of what's happening, but they understand that a slander or lying or gossip is happening or whatever. Like, I feel a lot of the places that I go, they know because of the amount of sign language violence, gesturing harassment, and mass harassment, which is my number one evidence to why I think people know what's going on, because you'll see a lot of people do the odd body gestures and stuff like that. And like I said, in court, that's not evidence. It would be kind of, trying to obtain evidence is near impossible. That's why it is possible, this situation, it is possible to go to court. It is possible for these people to go to prison. It is possible to do a lawsuit. It's just highly unlikely because of the way that they do it. Basically, the only way you would really be able to obtain evidence is if the people admit to making a mistake in front of you. Like, that's why the person that's doing these slander campaigns, they don't identify themselves, because they really can get in trouble. The only way they can get in trouble is if they identify themselves. The fact that they do not identify themselves and they don't name themselves, email, place to place, like putting email, because email is directing a response, or Facebooking, you have to, it's not just on your Facebook, it has to, or social media site like Twitter, Instagram, blah, blah, you have to send the message directly to the other person. And then the person, and lots of people, not like one person. So it's the direct contact, like a phone, definitely phone, but with phone, you don't hear the person, so you would never know most likely, unless someone told you and it was recorded. That's why the one that would be a little bit easier is with the Facebooking or the social media site, because they might, there's public view and other people could see it, blah blah. But it's not just on their website. It has to be a direct contact. It has to be like you sent.
You're smiling.
There's outside. You have cell phone. There's going outside. I think I would have. People are always in this house. There's like never free time when I'm really like alone. It's not like Luam's pretty much always here. Like when is she not here? Nobody notifies me when is Luam not here today. Like nobody gives me notification if she really doesn't want to. Huh?
You didn't ask us.
Well, I didn't know she was gonna be like upset every single time I have these little videos that I'm making. Okay, so what? Like, okay. Obviously, it's gonna have to be in the morning. I tried to do it when Miriam was not here. I tried to look up the, that sensitivity. I would have done it in the evenings. I could have done it a few weeks earlier. It's just okay. So what? I don't see the big deal, anyways, because people put TV on. People put video computer on. I don't see what the big deal is. There's music on I always put the music stuff on. Nobody even cared about the music until the gangstalking happened. So anyways, so it has to be like, when you send Facebook, like not just the page, you have to actually send it. Like that's showing, to another person. Email has to be sent to another person, not just like, oh, I wrote my email. Or even if you have website is legal. There's nothing you can do about website. If a person has lying is not legal to do website, but if you did, there's no way to prove that you lied. So the website one, there's nothing you can do about it. But sending email, sending Facebook, Twitter, like they're sending the messages, or phone, they're sending it, and you can be like, well, the person is listening. It's not about that one conversation. It's if you did it to like 20, 30 people or more, 50 people or higher, stuff like that, then it would be criminal. Okay. So the person that's doing this...
I think somebody's going in your room.
My sister is trying to go in my room and break or steal stuff.